July, everyone. I'm glad you're here. Thank you very much for joining me. Here's a live view as I'm recording this of the back basin there at Yellowstone along the boardwalk. I wanted to mention a few things. Deep inside that 130-page 2026 budget proposal for the Department of Interior that President Donald Trump published earlier this spring is a section called Recreational Fee Program. In it, the budget proposes a surcharge for foreign visitors that is estimated to generate more than $90 million to keep national parks beautiful. Currently, there at Yellowstone, there's like a year-and-a-half wait to get a hotel room. They're mostly bought up by these Chinese tour guides, so it's hard to get a hotel room. The proposal, previously largely gone unnoticed, amid a wider plan to reduce the budget for the agency overseeing the country's 63 national parks by over 30%. President Trump's latest executive order instructs Secretary of the Interior, Doug Burgum, to put into action by raising entrance fee, and recreation passes fee for international tourists in the coming year, 2026. He said to fund improvements and enhance experiences across the park system. I've signed an executive order to raise entrance fees for foreign tourists while keeping prices low for Americans. Trump said at a July 3rd rally in Iowa. That was yesterday. Following the passing of his sweeping tax bill earlier that day. Yeah, his big, beautiful bill. I guess that was in there. The national parks will be about America first, he said. The White House claims that by raising prices for foreign visitors, it will be able to generate over $90 million that will go towards keeping national parks beautiful. But it does not clarify how that number was calculated or how much will be charged to individual visitors. Only 106 of the 430 sites managed by the National Park Service charge entrance fees ranging from $10 per person to $35 per vehicle. There's Old Faithful. Looks like it's starting to go off. There's also an annual option available. There's no differentiation right now between U.S. residents and foreign visitors. But they're going to start, evidently, next year, start charging foreigners who come into our country when they ask for ID, I suppose. Yeah, and they're going to be paying more. Most countries do charge foreigners who go to their parks and different historical sites, Americans, more money than they do the locals. Look at that. I hope you got to see the video that I posted earlier this morning. It was about 8:10 a.m. local time when Old Faithful went off. And as soon as it gets done, I'm going to talk about some different closures that are going on. And I'm going to talk about uplift that they don't talk about there at Yellowstone. Yeah, that's really pretty. Must be chilly there. People were dressed in sweaters, it looks like, that were on the boardwalk. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, when I was a kid, I guess it was 1969, we went and visited Yellowstone during our drive, our move from Ohio to California. Yeah, look at that. Looks like it's almost done. So what do you think about that? When was the last time, and have you ever visited Yellowstone? What was your experience like? What did you think? My experience wasn't that good. We went to an area where they were probably collecting the water from one of the thermal vents to run some kind of thermal power plant. And being as young as I was, I thought the pipe, the large pipe, was to have it scheduled to go off at a certain time. I thought, yeah, it wasn't explained to me back then, but I was very young. There we go. Okay, so let me show you this. Very concerning. I haven't done an update about what's going on at Yellowstone in almost a month. It'll be a month tomorrow. But if you notice these 4 different monitors that I downloaded the data from, here we have Denny Creek, we have Horse Butte, second from the right, and the Madison River. You notice that Madison River, the lines for the data is tilted, and recently there at Denny Creek it's also tilted, and it was tilted earlier at Horse Butte. What that means is that the monitors there where they're collecting the data, the ground has risen. You can actually see how it's risen there. Yes, the ground does go up and it goes down, but currently it's looks like it's at a phase where it's rising. So here we have the monitor right there for the Madison River. We also have Holmes Hill right there, and let's see, Horse Butte right there. Horse Butte is over there. So we got these stations right within this location. We got Denny Creek, again Horse Butte, Holmes Hill right there. This is where it's all rising. The last time Yellowstone had its last major eruption, this is the location where it started, the event, and it had multiple eruptions in a counterclockwise rotation. I'm not saying it's going to erupt, but yeah, history does have a way of repeating itself. I would hope those that monitor the park, when they do have a time where there is uplift in this location, that they do keep an eye on it. Another interesting fact, daily fishing closure after 2 p.m. on select park rivers and streams. Due to low flows and warm water temperatures, the following river streams will be closed to fishing daily at 2 p.m. until sunrise. Madison River, that's the area where it started its last major eruption. Now they've had at least 40 smaller eruptions since the last major eruption. But yep, that one is closed after 2 p.m. It also shows Firehole River. Now that's the river we can often see there on the live webcam. And the Gibson River, that's in the same location. As you know, last year there at Biscuit Basin, they had the hydrothermal explosion that damaged the boardwalk, etc. And that area is still closed. They're wondering for another part of the park where they had a hydrothermal eruption. Evidently that fault is about 200 feet long, and they're wondering if it's going to erupt again this year. So before I get into the earthquakes, I'm going to share this video with you of baby bison having the zoomies. The parents don't even seem to take notice as they gallop around, jump around, going back and forth. It's so cute watching, baby animals being active, and then they get older and it's like, ugh, move along, kid. Go play someplace else. I thought it was real cute. I believe it was on USA Today that shared the video with everybody. So here we have 2 earthquakes. USGS is not reporting as usual. None of the earthquakes that have occurred today. This one here was a magnitude 1.33. And then we got another one. That probably came in a little bit stronger as a 1.82. And it shows up on 3 of the monitors. Here we got Moose Creek, Idaho, which is the strongest, Denny Creek, and then the Madison River area. Horse Butte right there. They've been having a lot of earthquakes lately. Look at them all. And of course, USGS doesn't report them. A lot of popping going on. That's another indication of pressure building, inflation. And you can see them here. Let me pull this across. Yeah, lots of popping. Yeah, and this is probably dike intrusion. It's a slow-moving tremor as the ground, pops open. Fault lines open up, then the magma slowly rises up a little bit farther. There's that one and that one. And we'll look at the spectrogram. Yeah, shallow. See how shallow that is? Okay, and this would be heated water and the gases that's coming up. Yeah, and then let's go up over here. Yeah, look at that. More popping. Let's see, we'll go to, yeah, look at that. Pop, 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 pop. Whole series of popping. Yeah. But they're not reporting anything for today for the Yellowstone area. Again, this is Horse Butte, which would be right here. Okay, that's Horse Butte. Here we got Maple Creek and Denny Creek. Yeah, this is the area that's showing inflation. Here we got Moose Creek, Idaho. Look at that. It's not surprising because as the magma comes up from the plume, and I keep talking about this, but some of you might be new, it moves towards the west under the ground. Yeah, and then, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they do have an eruption. It could be in the Snake River Plateau area. Let's look at the seismic signature that was going on. Yeah, see pressure. This is all fault movement. When they have points, that means it's fault movement. And if it's ever rounded, I don't know if I'll have one that's rounded or not. I can show you today. Well, maybe right there. Yeah, see when it's rounded? That's magma movement. Oh, look at that. Let me move this over a little bit so you can see it. Okay, make that bigger for you. See that right there? Yep, magma on the move. Like I said, it comes up at the Yellowstone plume, moves under the ground towards the Madison River area where we got uplift, and then towards the Snake River Plateau. Yeah. Here we have Denny Creek, and you can see the separation of the lines. Yeah, that's when the monitor got a little bit skewed here. Yeah, one side lifted up, the ground's tipping, and it looks like we might have more. Yeah, I'm gonna try and make that bigger for you. It's about as big as I can make it big. Well, yeah, see, wavy lines. You can see the wavy lines of the magma movement for Denny Creek. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go over here. Let's make that bigger. That's fault movement with some magma movement in between there. Let's take a look at this. There you go. Yep. So anyways, that's my report. I hope you don't have to wait for another report after a month. But as you know, any volcano can erupt within 10 minutes with no warning whatsoever. None whatsoever. And the camera keeps shaking, but I don't see the trees shaking. So that's probably ground vibration. If you have any questions or thoughts, I hope you enjoyed the little baby bison. Put your comments down below. And yeah, have you been to Yellowstone? What was your experience when you were there? What do you think about this new charges that they're going to be doing for foreigners that come into our country? Maybe with them doing that, you won't have to wait a year and a half to make a reservation to stay at the hotels. That would be nice. So put your comments down below. Always be prepared for any type of disaster. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.